friends, this video lecture is about bromhexine, but the video lecture is of English version. So in this I am going to talk about bromhexine mechanism of action. Okay. So as we already know, bromhexine is a mucolytic. That means it will be breaking down mucus. So how does it break mucus? The question arises, how does it break mucus? So what is mucus? Mucus is secreted in the lungs, as we all know, but it is made up of glycoprotein, or more specifically, first, what is mucus made up of? Mucus is a polymer. If we go deep down, we will get to know that mucus is a polysaccharide. See, mucus is a polysaccharide that is made up of mucin. Mucus is made up of mucin. This mucin is a polymer. This mucin is a polysaccharide. So if bromhexine is breaking down the mucin, that means we are ultimately breaking down the structure of polymer. If bromhexine is breaking down the mucin, that means I want to say that bromhexine is breaking down this mucin polymer, and mucin is made up of glycoprotein. So mucus is made up of mucin, and the main constituent of mucin is glycoprotein. Okay. So what does bromhexine do? Bromhexine will break down the chemical structure of mucin or the chemical structure of glycoprotein. Ultimately, if a drug is breaking down the chemical structure of a polymer, that means in this case I am decreasing the viscosity of mucus. If bromhexine is acting on this mucin, if bromhexine is breaking down the structure of mucin, that means ultimately the viscosity of mucus is going to be decreased, and that we all want to achieve. Okay. So our prime target, the primary mechanism of action of bromhexine is to break down the chemical structure of mucin. So that is all about the primary mechanism of action, but there is also a secondary mechanism of action that is worth understanding. So what is secondary mechanism of action? As we have all studied in the case of expectorant, that expel out mucus, but how it is going to expel out the mucus? By secreting more and more water into the mucus. If I am adding more water into the mucus, that means I am again decreasing the viscosity of mucus. So the secondary mechanism of action, just like the working of expectorant. Okay. What is the secondary mechanism of action of bromhexine? So that will also add water to the mucus. But how it is going to do this? There is a cell that is called serous vicini cells. In our bronchioles, in our bronchi. So these serous vicini cells are responsible for the production of watery mucus. Okay. There are two types of cell basically. The first is serous vicini and the second is mucus vicini. And bromhexine, the secondary mechanism of bromhexine tells that this drug acts on serous vicini, and if it is going to act on serous vicini, if it is going to activate serous vicini, then these serous vicini are responsible for the secretion of watery mucus. That means bromhexine activates serous vicini and serous vicini will produce more and more watery mucus. So that means ultimately I am adding water to the mucus. I am decreasing the viscosity of mucus, and that the thing we all want to achieve, the ultimate target. So we should just revise. The primary mechanism of bromhexine is to just break down the structure of mucus. Mucus is made up of mucin, mucin is made up of glycoprotein. So if bromhexine is breaking down the mucus, that means I am breaking down the thread of mucin. I am breaking down glycoprotein. Ultimately, I am breaking down the polymer. Now, if I am breaking down the polymer, that means I am altering the structure of mucin. I am altering the structure of mucus, the chemical structure of mucus. Now, if anyone is going to alter the chemical structure of mucus, that means the prime action of mucus will not be there. The nature of mucus will not be there as it was before. Okay. Now the secondary mechanism of action of bromhexine is that bromhexine acts on which cells? Serous vicini cells that are found in bronchi and bronchioles. These serous vicini cells are responsible for the production of watery mucus. And if someone is adding water to the mucus, again he or she is achieving the same target. That means the viscosity of the mucus will be decreased, that we all want. So that was all about bromhexine. In short, what bromhexine is going to do, if I am giving someone bromhexine to just get relief from cough, so bromhexine mechanism of action, first it is going to break down the structure of, in summary, in a nutshell, bromhexine will, the first primary mechanism of action, the first important mechanism of action, it will break down the structure of, mucin, that is the constituent of mucus. Second, it will activate serous Acini cells. It will activate serous Acini cells, and serous Acini cell will produce more and more watery mucus. Serous Acini cell will produce more and more watery mucus, and if more and more water is being added to mucus, that means ultimately the viscosity of the mucus will decrease, and that is the secondary target of bromhexine, the secondary mechanism of action. Thank you, friends.